Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Real Estate Scoop with Soma. Today we've got an exciting topic to discuss on associations, and I'll introduce the speaker later. But before that, let me, as usual, go and talk about what are the things that's happening in the market before I go on to the question. There are two announcements I need to make. Announcement number one is that RRP, the Rent Renewal Program, or what we used to call the Continuous Development Program, is now ongoing. The associations are all organizing it. So I would like to remind all the rents, it is very important that you go as soon as possible. Don't wait for the last minute, because you may not have the classes, or classes may be full. And then if you cannot get it done on time, then you cannot renew it by end of the year. Then again, you have to go back and sit again for the NCC again and pay another 650 ringgit. So be efficient. Make sure that you attend the classes as soon as possible. Interestingly, this time around, what they have done is they have got 3 levels of classes. The first module is for the beginners. The second module is for the intermediate people, and the third one is advanced classes. So you can choose which module you want. That's up to you, because you are paying the money, you can choose. So some of you may have attended certain topics like tenancy agreement or how to convert agricultural land. So you choose the other topics like auction and all that. And so you can attend some new subject matters that is going on. So please make sure you attend the RRP. And by doing so, you will be able to renew your tag for next year. The second announcement I want to make is that you know that Malaysian Institute of Estate Agents have organized for the last 17 years the National Real Estate Awards, which is the most highly recognized real estate awards in the country. We do this to recognize real estate agents and negotiators and also the firms for doing a wonderful job for the year, and then we award them with all the different awards on that day. And this will be held on the 16th of August, and is also the time when the new president of the association will be installed as the incoming president. That means he'll be given we call it the authority to hold the office for 2 years, and there's an exchange of gavel around the neck by the outgoing president, and you will install the incoming president. This is the old tradition that happens in the Rotary Club and Lions Club and all that. So we have adopted that, and so it's a very important and significant event. So with that, I only got these 2 announcements. Half year has passed, and I don't know whether all of you are on track with your targets. You remember we did one episode where beginning of the year, we planned and we taught you how to set goals. And Muhas was the speaker. And then many of you have followed up, and I do not know how much you have achieved in the first half. Nevertheless, you got 6 more months to go, and you can still change your fortune or the income that you want to make by working hard and doing whatever is necessary. Okay, so we still are waiting for the property market report. It will come probably in August, mid-August, and so then we will know what's happening in the property market. Many of you are saying market is not good, it's bad, I'm not doing the sales. Actually, market is reasonably good compared to 2024. You all know that it was the best year. 2025, there's a slight difference in the first quarter, but we haven't got the updates for the until the end of June, and within the next couple of weeks we will know how the property market has performed. But I think we are not doing that bad. Okay, it's still good. So with that, let me move on now to the main event of the day. This is the scoop. The scoop is to talk to people, to get some idea what's going in the market, to gain some experience and knowledge. And today I had the great pleasure of inviting none other than the president of the Malaysian Institute of Estate Agents, Mr. Kelvin Yip. Can I invite him over to the table? Mr. President, welcome. Come, please take a seat. You know, that's That's a very interesting thing, one gets to become a president in MIA, you get to become president for 2 years. And so he gets a pleasure of being called a president for 2 years. After that, he'll become ordinary fellow. So, Kelvin, welcome to our session. I'm happy that you are here with us. I'm glad you came, in the month of July, because you took office on the
1st of July.
1st of July. So until 2 years, right?
Yes.
So until 30th of June next year, he will be the
No, not next year.
the 2 years from now, he's a continuing president. So tell me, how did you get started in real estate?
Well, actually, it's more or less by accident. I was doing accounting in the early 80s. And after which, in 1988, I joined a firm called Zaki and Partners. A year later, they affiliated with the Australian company, Rain and Horn, and they became Rain and Horn Zaki and Partners.
Okay.
So I was doing accounts there for 2 years until 1990. And all of a sudden, the entire sales team left. And the boss, Dato' Zaki, was asking, who wants to go over? So then I say, I volunteered myself. I say, I want to go and try real estate. And he says, no. Then I say, why, sir? He said, who's going to do my accounts then? Then I say, why don't you promote that girl? I will watch from behind while I want to try out real estate. I was a little bit lucky. I got my first deal in my first month. There was nobody to guide me, but I had valuation reports as my main guide. That's where I learned. And of course, after a while, I got hooked on it. And in the 1991, I took I took the course with G Institute, and I sat for the written exam in 1992, April. Then the results came out in August 92, where a few of us actually passed all at one go. Then we had to wait 2 years. After the 2 years in August 1994, we went for interview. And during the interview, several of us also went through one time. So I was actually a registered agent after 3 years, only 3 years. And after that, I had a chat with the bosses, and I find that I wanted to venture out. In 1995, I started my first firm called Property Station.
I still remember Property Station. So you became an agent in 1994. I wanted to say this after you introduce yourself. You also hold a Bachelor of Science honors degree in clinical biochemistry.
No, that's not me.
Not
You
you.
got the wrong guy.
Oh,
I was doing accounting, bro.
okay, accounting. Okay, and you also got the CRS certification and
Yes.
trained the trainer program
Yes.
to NAR. Former vice president former vice president and organizing chairman of the National Race Awards. And you have been MIA for how many years now?
I joined MIA on 29 June 1995.
Okay.
And I started serving in late 90s. In fact, I'm telling you, I was already vice president of MIA in 2001, where I was serving as the representative of estate agents in the board. I served there for 2 terms, meaning 4 years. That's how it went.
Okay.
So
you have got a lot of experience being in MIA. I think you're one of those long-standing MIA member. I still remember the days when we used to go for AGMs and fight it out with with everybody and question about accounts and all that stuff. Okay, so today the episode is on the new era of real estate leadership. What associations must do to stay relevant. So so I want to ask this question: what inspired you to take up presidency after so many years?
no, actually, like I said, it took me a while. I was managing my own agencies since 95. And later in 2012, I closed my firm and I joined Knight Frank Malaysia as associate director, simply because I wanted to have some corporate experience. So it ended in 2022 because I have to retire. they do have a retirement age of 60. So officially, I retired in 2022. Something happened a couple of months before I retired. My friend bought the majority share in an agency called Property Hub. And the bosses told me, hey, you still want to be around, you can join the subsidiary and there's no age limit. Here I am, I'm still here. That's what it is. So the thing here is, I'm one of the older generation of leaders in MIEA. I would think so now. I was also told that I cannot retire until I have taken presidency. So, so that's why I'm here. But of course, if you saw my in my candidacy for president-elect, I would actually want to say that the profession, we should grow together by protecting the profession and eliminating unethical practices. So I subscribe to high integrity and values for the sustainable future of our profession. So I believe I can make a difference to the profession.
Okay, that's good. So the follow-up question on that is, so what's your vision for MIEA? Since now you're the president, what's your vision and what is the first big change you want members to see under your leadership?
Okay. Now, I noticed that the last couple of presidents always have their vision statement. For me, I subscribe to the acronym REACH, REACH. For me, REACH means to reach out to all Malaysian real estate practitioners, including those in FIAPSI, REDA, and all those local organizations. And when it comes to international, I think we are also part of ARENA. We will continue to support ARENA activities, as well as those of international organizations like REVA in Australia and also the National Association of Realtors USA. That is on the practitioners part and also real estate associations. But more importantly, we also need to reach out to government departments where we are actually already in touch with the Housing Ministry, KPKT, the Ministry of Finance, Bank Negara, LHDN, Customs, and also we're going to reach out to MCMC. We're going to reach out to all this to see how we can participate before laws are being made. Yeah, that would be my R. So when it comes to E, I'm looking at education. Education at the moment, we have our NCC, we have our RRP, we do have the, I do workshops on the TPC workshop to help the PEAs. We have our CPD programs. Of course, now we wanted to do a bit more CPD programs. I also encourage the branches to do at least 2 CPD programs in a year. On top of that, I would also like to have the more programs on the rent side. Maybe I would like to have the 3 rent summit programs, physical rent summit programs, besides the what we call the Zoom rent summit Zoom session in the first week of December. That would have been the education side. No, but I want to add on. We are also looking at putting a starter course to help the negotiators who have just finished the 2-day course. We want to do probably another 1 day, maybe 1 week after the NCC course, for those who do not join big organizations where they do not have internal training and all that. We want to help those who do not. That would be one of it. So when it comes to A, it's about activities. So we will be promoting as much activities as possible to reach out to members, meaning things. Of course, we want to have some social events, a lot of networking sessions. We're going to do a lot of town halls. I'm going to reach out town halls to every state so that they are aware of what are the latest in the industry, as well as the RNC will be active in having some social games.
Okay.
That would be activities and some CSR programs, slightly. So when it comes to C, I think communication is key when it comes to reaching out to members. We're going to revive the bulletin. I can only say that I Ching has done a fantastic job in the bulletin, but her bulletins are quite scary because those are 40, 50 pages. So I've given instruction to the new board of director in charge of bulletin to say, you don't need so many pages. You potentially need maybe about 6 or 7 pages to the most.
Yeah.
I think it's a main communication tool. Of course, communication has also got to go to the next level. Currently, we are rebuilding our website. The second phase would be to do the mobile app to reach out to members. So that is what is going to happen when it comes to C. The last one, H, I would like MIEA to be the home for all practitioners of real estate. So if you are a practitioner, if you are a negotiator, come and join us so that we can have a louder voice, so that we can, network and make the most out of things. Yeah, that would have been my reach.
To your second question, well, go ahead. That's a handful. I really like this theme called reach. So I think there are a lot to be done. So let's move on to the next question. So many in the industry.
Sorry, I think you had a second question. What's the first big change you want members to see under my leadership, right?
Yeah.
So we are in touch with several of those platforms and all those things. We are moving towards putting members who are in good standing, who practice well, to be what we call verified agents. So in the portals, they would have another column called verified agents. Who are these people? These are the people who would have had valid rent tax. That means they have done their yearly renewals and have valid membership registered with the board. And of course, in MIEA, we will also clean up our membership to ensure that all members of MIEA are verified agents to ensure that, the trust would be there.
Okay, that's fine. That's interesting. So let's move on to the next question. So many in the industry or the profession, to be specific, are asking, are real estate associations like MIEA still truly are relevant? Or are they just carrying forward outdated traditions without real impact on the development of the profession?
I still feel we are highly relevant, and to support and advance the interests of members. Associations are supposed to do that. We provide valuable resources, networking opportunities, and a sense of community. So, of course, that will help to contribute to their career advancement and their professional development. In order to ensure relevance, I think we need to understand the members' needs, continuously assess the needs and expectations. We also need to provide value to offer tangible benefits that they cannot replicate on their own. Of course, we also need to adapt to change, embrace new technologies and trends, and remain relevant and responsive to the evolving needs of the members and the industry.
Interestingly, you said just now that about technology. So what is MIEA, the plans MIEA is taking or going to take to help many of these agents who are not technologically savvy, or they are still following the good old ways of marketing? Is there any program? Or
we do? We will be having a lot of workshops where we will invite people who are technologically more advanced than us. I remember there was a talk about how to use ChatGPT, and that one has the overwhelming response. Things like these, I believe we also previously have done how to use drones, and also the 360 cameras. Things like these. I would believe we will be doing a lot more on the AI and on things like how to use Canva, how to use whatever things that helps us in our industry.
Okay. So, most of the time when we meet members and they say, I pay subscription, I don't get anything out of the association. So do agents genuinely feel they get value in return? And this is a very sensitive question, but I think we need to approach it in the real way. So what tangible benefits can MIEA deliver then that digital platforms or private groups can't?
Digital platforms of private groups. That I really don't want to go into that.
Okay.
But what I want to go into is being a member. We will help you in some cost savings, meaning you probably get some great discounts on cars like BMW, you can get 6%, or BYD, you get 4%, and things like this. Of course, medical checkups, we're also looking into it for the health reasons. And last year, we actually tied up with Samsung, that any Samsung products that you buy, MIEA members would have special rates and also special promotional items that comes along with it. So those are cost savings. We are also looking into helping agents to increase revenues. So recently we have signed up with the co-working space work, where they will of course recognize when we refer tenants to them. I believe that also happens to service offices and service apartments where we register the prospective tenants. We actually get paid. Some of the internet providers also, if we were to refer people to them, they do give us some income. Plus the bankers, furniture rentals. There are many other sources where we tie up with this. At one time, I thought we had some company called OMG, where they were doing renovations that we can help our members
Furniture fit outs.
to get furniture fit outs. Things like this. That would have been helping them to have other sources of income besides real estate. And lastly, I think we also want them to provide them member rates for our courses, for our whatever seminars, conventions. Member rates will be there. We will also be negotiating with our other associations in the country where hopefully MIEA members will get preferential rates. That would happen.
Okay. This is maybe, this was not in the questions that was sent out. Since you're talking about values for member, you know, one of the biggest issue that many negotiators and agents are concerned about is the question about the illegal brokers. Today, they have transformed from the traditional way of doing things, and now they're doing scamming and all that stuff. What is MIA going to do about this? Eradicating or trying to find a way to resolve the issues with illegal brokers. I think this is something very close to our hearts.
Well, I think we have done many attempts, including one where I think I went with you to Parliament to actually put our findings to them to say that please take action to help us. I think we have done quite a few rounds of PR exercise. At 1 year, we also had a 200,000 allocation for PR exercise to let the people know about illegal agents and things like this. And currently, the board is actually doing a short video competition, also to highlight about real estate practices that are in line with the rules and regulations. So I think more and more people would be aware of using the right things. Sometimes it is difficult to eradicate all these things. The only thing here is public education. I think public education as to who you should be using. Like I say, verified agents is what we are trying to promote so that the public won't get scammed or get into all these things. Of course, we also have reminded the firms to ensure that to minimize this kind of scams, they should have some what we call some things to make sure that the negotiators don't do wrong. For example, they may want to only use standard forms that are used by the firm and no payments of cash nor any payments to negotiators. All payments has to go into the firm's client's account. So some of the measures that we do. Of course, we also want to look at even clients itself. I remember last year, there was a big hoo-ha about scammers putting on tenancies and all those things. So the police was actually made a statement that they will go after the landlords as well as agents. But what has that got to do with us? So anyway, we met up with them and we tell them that we will do a lot more due diligence to check on who is coming in as the tenant, what is their background, and things like this. And of course, we will also now be a bit more vigilant to see. You must know that there is a difference between a tenant and an occupant, right? So the tenant is the one who signs the agreement. The occupant is the one who's going to stay. So now I think the new trend is to identify who is staying inside there with the names IC, or if they're foreigners, we put their names and passport numbers. There is also a tendency now to limit the number of occupants inside any what they call rented premise. So because what we see is the scammers, they always go into big crowds, maybe 10, 20 and all those things. So that would have been an issue. And on top of that, we will highlight to the landlords that they should actually visit their premises maybe every 2 months or every quarterly to at least see what is going on in the premise to minimize such things. Of course, you need to give sufficient notice for them to allow this to happen.
I want to go back to what you said just now. I find this quite interesting, and I think the audience would want to know more about this. You talk about this verified negotiator.
Yes.
How is MIEA planning to do this?
We already have spoken to some platforms, and they have another icon there that says that this is a verified agent. Yeah. So, and of course, we told them that MIEA members should have that verified agents in their category. Yeah. So it's just like when you go to a restaurant, sometimes you put a good down there, you know that's the good fella, right? So here we are trying to tell the public that this is a trusted, a trained, knowledgeable people who follow code of conduct, people who are subscribed to the rules of the game.
In inverted commas, they are good agents.
Yes,
can be trusted and good agents. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's move on. There's a lot of talk that estate agents have lost control of the profession. Now, I really want to drill into this thing because I always see in the WhatsApp group, this is happening, that's happening. Can we just can we explore this and share with us? Have we really lost control?
Okay, I want to separate the negotiators who are working into two groups. The first group are those who are under contract of service. Now, when we say contract of service, predominantly, in fact, historically, agents are actually based in valuation-based firms. And they are all with salaries, EPF, SOXO, and they have a very, very small little commission package. And things will do very well. And even today, they are on salary. And seriously, there is no issue of them controlling the firm. Yeah. So valuation big firms are of no concern of what you just mentioned. So the other group that are what I call pure agency firms, to me, they have given too much of publicity to the rents to promote themselves as well as successful and award-winning people. And even the recruitment campaigns, they do depict them as successful rents and as role models. This gives the illusion that they are the face of the organization and in control. That's what people have seen that, But some have even assumed the role of being their spokesperson onto that level. So the profession has lots of rules and regulations. In fact, I think we have one of the tightest rules. The only thing here is we would hope that the authorities actually take more action in solving this kind of things. There are some regular defaulters, and they face the regulatory body regularly. In fact, it's like a monthly appearance in the disciplinary report. That is actually happening.
So have we lost control?
To me, it depends on the firm. So the good firms are in control. The good firms are in control. Yeah.
But when you say good firms are in control, the majority of the firms in the country, I believe I was looking at the records, we have got now 1,600 over real estate firms in the country.
The firms that have registered over the years is 6,162, but currently active is 1,810.
Okay.
Yeah. So even for negotiators, 74,639 has taken the course, and the records is 35,160 is still active. These are the records as of 6th of November 2024.
Okay.
Yeah. Even PEAs, just for knowledge, PEAs we have 3,860 who has got a number, but currently 2,221 is in practice, simply because most of them have graduated into REAs now. And in terms of REN numbers, at the record as of November was 3,113, where there are only 2,256 still in active practice.
Okay. Okay, the changing landscape. We can see the changes on the ground are much faster than the changes in the rules and the regulation. You and I know lah. Since 2013, the rules have not been changed. Commission structures have not been changed. So many things have been changed. We have gone so far in our practice, but it's not keeping tab with this. How does MIA propose to address this, since you already have a representative in the Board of Valuers?
Yeah, I want to go back to the point that you say that the rules have yet to change. Yes, 2013, there were drastic changes. In fact, we trace back, it was during Najib's time that we submitted the changes to the rules, and subsequently Saudara Lim and then Tengku Zafro. But Dato Sri Anwar has actually called us, and they have called the board. They will be doing some changes, hopefully by the end of the year. So you will see some rules changes. But what I can tell you here is the certification of rents have actually addressed the following things. Things that illegal agents are now trained agents and duly certified. So we have put them into our fold instead of them, wandering around. And secondly, I think maybe some of you may not be aware, before this exercise of certifying them, many of the so-called negotiators are actually working a couple of firms at the same time. 2 or more firms. They could have 2 handphones. When this rings is ABC Realty, this rings is BCD Realty. So that would have been eradicated because the registration of rent is actually through your IC, and you can only have one. So that was the biggest thing. And of course, as of last year in October 2024, the biggest change that happened was now to be a negotiator, you require minimum of SPM. And then they have to be non-bankrupts. And at the same time, they do have to take an online test. I remember this was actually, there was a memorandum submitted during our past President Chan Ai-Ching's time that these 3 things were actually in the memorandum. And the board has actually taken this up and have pushed forward to this. I do remember there's one more step that we say is that we are looking at 2028, where negotiators have to have at least a diploma. That would be a long shot. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to tell the public that we are serious in raising the standards and serious in making sure that everybody is well trained, that because many of them being, making one big lifetime decision, they would want somebody who is not going to put their monies at risk.
We all know what good we have done when we were in MIEA by urging the board to do the NCC certification and all that stuff. But there are still many out there, our own colleagues out there, harping on this, age-old harping, because of this, the whole industry has gone haywire. This is not the right thing to do, so on and so forth. I fail to understand why they keep on doing this. Yes, there's certain things that has gone RE, but I think overall, I think it's very benefit. What advice you want to give to these people?
I mean, to the people who are complaining?
Yeah.
I mean, do it.
And they're all very active members of MIA, okay?
Exactly. In the first place is do your own, how do you call it? In-house check, all right? on what is going on, and also help us. No, there is always a complaints area in the Lembaga's website. Now the new website is LPEPH. Yeah.
No appraiser ready.
So that is the new one. That there is a complaints email that you can write in. Of course, you should substantiate with good evidences or documents. The only thing here is because of too many frivolous complaints, the board has now adopted that you need to pay a small amount before you complain. Similar to what happened in the legal fraternity. You know, you want to complain, legal fraternity, you have to pay. Similarly, the board has just adopted that. I also feel that you also are trying to tell me that are negotiators necessary? Is that what you're trying to reach as well?
No, they're not happy with the fact that we have got so many negotiators, now 35,000 negotiators, and they're complaining that they have created more problem than the good that they're bringing in.
I look at it slightly different. If you see, like I just said, there are only 2,256 active registered agents. Come on. Last year, 2024, there were 420,000 transactions in the country. So assuming 60 or 70% of this is closed by agents, we are talking about almost 280,000 transactions. Can 2,000 more people handle? No, we need these people. I'm sorry, we need these people, but they have to be guided. They have to be under the guidance and making sure that they follow the rules and regulations when they practice.
And that responsibility goes to the estate agents and also the board of valuers.
It is all in the rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the reason why I want to address this a little bit in depth is because the negotiators have always been the bane of the profession. They're always complaining about negotiators and all the bad that's going on. Just like in any family, there's always the black sheep, in the family. But I look at around 35,000 rents today who are having a good life, having good family, at least a majority of them, and helping the country in doing the deals. If not, the illegal brokers are doing it. So I think we should stop complaining about this and together, as you said, put our hands together and help to train the negotiators so that they can follow the rules and bring good about the profession. Okay. This is something that's very close to my heart. There is a perception that some association leaders, and specifically, I think let's look at MIEA itself, just want their seats during their term rather than drive meaningful change. How will you prove that your president is going to be different?
Oh. No, I have always provided constructive criticism when I served in the board of directors of MIEA. I am not a dictator, but one who listens to my team. I believe we should make collective decisions. So during the recent orientation program for the new office bearers, we have actually asked for suggestions in those sticky notes where they stick down and then at the wall, and then we collect them, the suggestions to MIEA as well as to the board, how to improve the profession and also whatever changes that need to be made. So we will soon also be holding a town hall as well as to get some email response with members to get further feedback. So the suggestions we will collate and present in a memorandum to the board during our meetup sessions. We are scheduling, I'm asking our board rep to schedule a meeting with the board, the full board itself, to introduce our new office bearers, as well as to submit a memorandum as to what and how the practitioners out there would like to see the changes. So in fact, town halls are not meant only for Klang Valley. I'm also planning for all our 5 branches to have this.
I remember a quote, I think just now it was there on the slide. Douglas MacArthur said this: a true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but become one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. So I hope this.
I always subscribe to the word high integrity. To me, the definition of high integrity is doing the right things even when nobody's watching. That is what I believe high integrity means.
So, okay, this is something I'm diverting from what I'm supposed to ask you.
Whoa.
So what the hell is going on in Penang and Johor when all these agents are collecting from both sides and everybody says, okay?
Well, the thing is, there is always this historically, before the act came into force, the brokers those days actually charge both sides.
Okay.
The vendors as well as the purchasers. And many of them have carried on this same thing, and the public is actually aware of it. But what I can only say here is, if they are from the same organization, who do you represent? Who is your client? The definition of the client is the one who appoints you and is responsible to pay the professional fee. Now, on top of that, whose interests are you taking care of? We need to understand that. I always like to use the extreme example in the legal practice. If a firm in Kuala Lumpur has been appointed by the plaintiff to sue, can somebody from the same firm in another branch take the appointment to represent the defendant? Does it make sense to sue and defendant in the same court? You can't. So practically, it shouldn't be the case. I, for one, would tell that all the other states have already moved towards having the interest of the client first, that we only have one client. But these two sides, I will use the word degil or stubborn, that they still want to do this. But let me tell you, the board has already fined quite a number of firms in the northern state as well as the southern state. So we have to do a lot more education on this to ensure that people understand that, yes, you can be appointed by both, but you can only choose one party to bill. And that is the party you would represent.
For many years now, we have been asking and we have been motivating. What are the branches doing about it? We have got a Penang branch, we have got the Johor branch, very active branches both. What are the branches have done in the last 1-2 years to educate the public at large? I always hear we want to do this, we can do this, we can do that, but actually doing it is the biggest thing anyway. Yeah. So what have they done? You and I know nothing much has been done.
No. Let me stop you there first. You know what happened is, the last couple of years in the RRP, we always push for the topic on co-agency there. And we highlight this so many times that they say, why are you doing this paper again? I say, we have no choice, but you guys haven't changed. So we have to tell you that it is not right. Of course, they say, this is my rice bowl. So if you have to think. In fact, I want to put caution to the people from the other states. If you need to do co-agency with them, you better ask them what's going on first. Yeah. So
we hope something good will happen. I think,
I think education of the public would be another area.
Yes.
Besides,
yes.
Tell them they don't have to pay.
You and I know, when we talk about education, there's so much to be done, but so little is being done. That's why when I asked this question about, are we warming our seats, and and by the time you realize 2 years is up, and then you got a new team of people
luckily we are 2 years.
taking over. Okay, so compared to the other countries where they only do for 1 year. This is about lobbying power. I remember in the early days, or in the years when we were young, we used to lobby like hell. I remember we fought for 30 agents, 30 agents, and then we got 50 agents per REA. I remember they wanted to ask agents to pay EPF on the salary. We had a big meeting and we lobbied to that not to happen. I don't see that happening today. Everyone has now become very quiet, and not lobbying for the sake of lobbying, but lobbying for the sake of the profession.
So you are referring to the board. In fact, when I
not only the board, whether it's a ministry.
I hear what you're coming in, I was just saying that we have actually made a lot of inroads to the relevant government departments to give our input during their preparation of new laws or guidelines. Take, for example, the up and coming Urban Renewal Act. They have actually asked us for support. And I say, fine, why don't you do a briefing to our members? So they have done a briefing to our board of directors. And now we are arranging this morning talks to them for them to explain what exactly it is. And I'm going to do a countrywide thing for them so that KPKT can explain what they want. And then subsequently, we will do a survey as to whether our members are supportive of this, because this is a very controversial thing where a lot of politicians are actually making a big fuss about this. Some proposing, some objecting. So we also want our members, and then with the survey results from our members, we will put our stand. We are also going to put our stand together with the other association in practice. That is on the Urban Renewal Act. There's the other act that is coming on also from KPKT is the Residential Tenancy Act. That one we have actually participated and given our input. Yeah, that act will most likely come after this, maybe in the next year or so. And that act is actually very important because as far as the tenancies are concerned, there is always this major headache at the end of tenancies where there are disputes among the landlords and the tenants. So they are adopting the Australian example of, should there be a dispute, they have to go to a tribunal. And the tribunal, I mean, of course, without lawyers, and the tribunal makes a decision, they have to follow. This is what it should be. But one of the more interesting thing here is in Malaysia, the deposits are held by the landlords. But when it comes to Australia, it is kept by a government agency. So the fact about our side here is sometimes at the end of the tenancy, you ask for refund, the landlord say, saya sudah pakai. So how? Duduk lagi 2 bulan lah. So that has been some problems with some tenants that this has happened. So I mean, if the government agency is able to cope with this, then it should happen. But when Malaysia proposed government agencies, there is a lot of what we call question marks about it. So the thing here is, if at all they have a problem, let MIEA be the custodian of the money lah. I mean, if they trust us well, then why not? So of course there is also the other acts that are coming into force. We hope we will participate in it also, the Real Property Development Act, and maybe even this upcoming budget in October, we are going to put in our wish list. And if they do wants to have dialogue with us, why not? We will participate in that.
Good, but I think before we, this is personal. Before we could do anything, I think most importantly we need to get our rules passed first, lah. It's been pending too long, and I still don't understand why.
It's going to happen. They have already looked at it, and our representative Surveyor Lim has already come back and said that it's going to happen.
Okay. All right. Technology. I know we touched a little bit earlier. It is changing so fast. Nowadays, I have come to a conclusion that if a rent doesn't understand basic technology, he cannot do rent work. I've come to that conclusion, and I think the job market is going to change from those who does not. Those people are struggling. The older school is struggling with every aspect of technology, especially ChatGPT. And so the other day I was sitting in front of a rent. He created a song, a real estate song, in 2 minutes using ChatGPT. Just 2 minutes. So things are changing so fast, and we are all taking this lightly. What has MIA really sat down and thought about the technological advancement, the changes that's happening, how it's affecting the consumers, how it's affecting agents themselves? And have we really sat down and thought about this so that MIA as an association can play a bigger role in the training or in educating the rents about this?
Now, first thing here is we need to embrace technology and adapt to whatever changes necessary. Okay. In fact, some of the platforms, if you go in, you can actually get a lot of information and data. The clients itself can actually get all those things. And for us, you are talking about the side of marketing. I'm looking at the side of clients who actually are now more well informed. So as agents, we actually should change and elevate ourselves more towards being a consultant by being able to provide better advice on things. The technological part, I think the young people automatically they are there. It is only the older generation that find it. We need to keep up. That's how I look at it. But the younger generation, I don't see them having any issue with embracing whatever of this technology. Yeah, I think if we were to think of the past, everybody will be just as good for the younger generation.
Okay, all right. I don't want to delve too much into this because from what I see, I think that there is never a plan how you're going to deal with this. But if you really sit down and look in depth, it is seriously affecting agents. Yeah,
we do have some young board members with us now.
Okay.
So they will be giving us feedback as to how we're going to adopt this. Of course, I take this quite seriously that we have to move with times. We cannot be outdated. Yeah, and we will probably recommend more workshops and let them understand how this will affect them.
Okay, so if you had to name 3 game-changing initiatives you want to achieve in your term as president to make MIA indispensable to its members, what would that be?
All right. The first thing I want to do is,
game-changing, huh?
Of course. Well, I hope you won't fall off the seat. No, the first thing I always say here is estate agents should play a bigger role. In all families, you would have a family lawyer, family banker, family insurance agent, family, everything. So we should have a family agent. That is the first thing. But in order to be a family agent, we should also look into this particular thing that has been approved in 2018 called tenancy administration. Now, tenancy administration or tenancy management is a part of essential service, especially when it comes to overseas. If you're looking at Australia, if you're looking at UK, whenever you buy a property, they already offer you that service. And let me tell you, the value of an estate agency firm is how many tenancy management properties that you do. That actually is the value of the company because it's a recurring income. Of course, that is not a very big change. But the second one I'm going to tell you here is agents should now have a service rating. Just like Grab drivers, you give me 5-star or something like that. So we will probably want to see whether this agent has got a 5-star rating, has got some issues with them. If you get a 4.5-star, you better back up. The kind of scenario. That would be the agency rating. But the third one that is mind-boggling would be something where, if it can happen, would be a blacklist of bad landlords, bad tenants, and also bad agents. That would be something, I believe it will be a game changer. But there will be a lot of legalities involved. The only thing here is if we do this blacklist, we have to be careful. And we have also got to be, we have to take care of who gets the information. Of course, if they have, I think it will be good for our practice. In overseas, some countries, they do, if somebody defaults in something, nobody else want to rent to them. So this is something which I think if it does happen, in fact, there is also a Telegram group. There's also a Telegram group inside there that has got more than 3,000 subscribers, knowing who are the bad tenants, bad landlords, as well as bad agents. Maybe we should one day have this.
I nearly fell off the chair. I know some of these, I still remember we have been talking about blacklisting for a long time. But because there are a lot of legal issues involved in it, and that's why we just really couldn't do it. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, before we end, I think I got a couple more minutes. We got so many real estate associations. I think in Malaysia, we got too many, in my personal view. Some might disagree with me. But if MIA didn't exist today, and we had to start from scratch, from MIEA days, what would a 2025 ready association look like?
Well, like you say, there are too many agents associations around. If if MIA is the only association, that would be fantastic. If everyone who practices is our member, that would be the best thing to happen.
Okay. Of course. So you would think that there should only be one association. You will start from scratch.
Why not?
But I also see that now the associations are working together.
Oh,
so
yes,
that is.
I am working with all the other presidents of all the other 6 or 7 organizations to know that we are all working towards a common goal, of uplifting the practice and whatever things that need to be done.
So what is a single with this question about, our association have got this theme, united, relevant, and progressive, okay? So the first part of it is the most important, which is being united. And we know that out of the 35,000 negotiators, I think we got a very small number that are active in MIEA. So in order to get as many members as possible so that we can become an association with a big voice, what would be the single biggest reason an agent should join an association like MIEA? What would you like to say to the rents and PAs out there?
Actually, I would want to put that MIEA members are, like I say, verified agents. They are the ones, we must send a message to the public that MIEA agents are verified agents. They are trained, they are knowledgeable, they adhere to the code of conduct and follow the standards of practice. So most likely we might go on a PR campaign to say, are you engaging MIEA verified agents? This is what I might go through. So if you are one of MIEA, then it can be trusted, a name that you can trust. I still have that sticker in the back of my car.
Oh. Yeah. The sticker that was done during my term as president. I said, remember, some of the agents don't want to put it in their car because they're afraid the illegal brokers will come and break their windows. So we had this kind of thinking those days. Okay. So, all right, we have already come to the end of the episode. What would you like to tell the membership at large, the practitioners at large out there? As president, what are your final thoughts that you want to share with them this evening?
Yeah, we have a lot of things planned for everybody. So we look forward to your support. And if you do have issues, come forth and we will try to solve whatever problems you have. And if you need certain things, like if you need to have certain topics that you want to learn about, we will engage the right people to share with you on the learning curve. Come and join us in all our events, including the CSR programs as well as those of our REN network. We want to see more participation. Yeah, I look forward to your continuous support.
Okay, so thank you very much for coming and participating in this scoop program. I hope it would add some great value to all the real estate practitioners out there. Associations are out there to help members. I remember we always say this, what Kennedy said, don't ask what other country can do for you, but what you can do for the country. Same thing, if you want the profession to grow, you need to become part of a grouping that can be a voice. So try to become a member. There's so many associations. Go and join them and play your part in developing the profession itself. Okay, with that, I want to thank you. Just a couple of announcements before I present a souvenir to Kelvin Yip is the next episode is going to be on the 29th of August. That is the end of this month, last Friday. Speaker is a lawyer, Brian Ng Yiming, and he represents the legal firm T.S. Ong and Ng, and the topic is how to handle difficult clients. So if you all are interested to know how to handle difficult tenants, so not clients, please attend the live Facebook event on 29th of August 2025. So with that, I want to thank all of you for watching. Please spread the word around that there's so much of recordings out there in YouTube. This is recorded, and you can always view this at any time at your convenience. So please pass the word around so that you all can try to understand a little bit more about what's happening in real estate. I've got a souvenir to give. Souvenir? Thank you, Amira. Okay, so on behalf of myself and all of us here, thank you very much. A small token of appreciation. Thank you. Okay, so with that, thank you. We'll see you at the next episode.